Hello, everyone. This is D'Artagnan Sy, Certified Master Inspector, Home Inspection Coach, and today I have my former student Daniel, who just recently passed his home inspection examination. Ooh, excuse me. Congratulations, Daniel.
Thank you. Thank you.
Now, Daniel, can you share what your experience was on that exam?
The exam was difficult. It was definitely a challenge, and it is necessary to read, study, take practice exams, possibly take additional practice exams to be prepared for that test because it is definitely difficult. There were some curveballs on the test. There were some questions in relative to inspecting swimming pools and some of the clearances as it related to pools that I didn't think would be on the test. Thankfully, I have a pool, so I knew a lot of those, but the tests don't go unprepared.
All right.
Don't go unprepared.
Now, more specifically, how was I able to assist you in preparing for that exam?
I think obviously there's a wealth of information in terms of the instruction that I received, but more importantly, you didn't sugarcoat it. You let everybody know up front. Don't be in a hurry to go down there and fail, because if you're not prepared, you're gonna leave, with your head tucked between your legs and a tail tucked between your legs, upset. So just giving us the hard facts that the test was going to be a challenge, and we had to prepare for every section. That was necessary for me. I think we went through so many different methods of instruction that, whether it was from the practices, all kinds of things that were resources for us that helped me to be able to pass the exam.
And you opened it up even more by allowing us to do the inspection at your home, the mock inspection. Yeah. So any insights from that one?
From the mock inspection, there were some things that I think when I'm out in the field will be probably more vital. And then some things, because it's my house, you just kind of don't pay as much attention to it, whether it was a small, minor crack or things like that. I think a lot of what I heard when we were at my house was there are signs of movement. And for being in that house for 10 years and I see a little small crack, didn't think nothing about it. But when you start seeing things add up, that's when you begin to realize, okay, these may be some things that you have to look at and be able to a little bit more attention to it, and maybe get somebody to take a look at it down the road. So that was very important for me as well.
Yeah, and that was a value add to the class as well for you open up your home for us to come and do that mock inspection there. But yes, just as you said, that exam is not a joke, and I do encourage folk not to rush to fail, because that exam can be a confidence killer. That 200 questions is pretty daunting. So the more you're prepared, the more you know, the better you are at the exam. If you're playing the recall game, then your chances go down. So the more you know, the better you are doing to pass the exam. And you passed it on your very first attempt.
First attempt.
Yeah, and I didn't pass on my first attempt. I didn't have me teaching me.
that may have made a big difference. Now, one of the things I wish I had done was join NHIE, because in joining NHIE is even more resources out there to practice and do things on. I kept taking the practice exam, and I would read the home inspector book, take the practice exam, read the home inspector book. But I think if I had joined NHIE, there was even more resources available, because now you can take certain things within their website that are available, and it's worth it. It really is.
Well, I am an NHIE partner. I'm an NHIE instructor, and I definitely recommend the resources that NHIE offers. The membership is well worth it. You can go a mile deep with the content across all the subject areas there, the content areas, and preparing for the exam. And obviously be able to take that practice exam as many times as you like, free of charge, to help give you some real-time feedback as to where you are in relationship to the content. So one of the things that made it really, in my opinion, that helped you out was that you were focused throughout. So you were reading the content. You were carving out time to study. You were taking the practice exams weekly as we were going through those chapters there. And so you were getting real-time feedback. So your level of commitment to your success paid off.
It paid off, but I tell you, man, by the time I finished that test, I almost broke down in tears. I was so happy it was over with. I mean, because it was hard.
It's stressful.
It was hard.
that test is a stressful test.
Yeah, it's definitely, that's probably one of the most difficult licensing exams that I've ever taken. And if you don't prepare, is what you put in is what you can get out of it.
Yeah.
And so I had to start carving out, time every day, probably 5-6 weeks out, carving out time every day. And I was probably taking the practice exam daily. I probably was comfortable somewhere, landing at about 87 and above. But I probably should have said, if it's not 90 and above, don't count it.
Which is my recommendation.
Yeah. But I'm not necessarily in the home inspection field, but being in the property management field on the engineering side, there's a lot of things I've been exposed to. But still, this was just different because I'm not always dealing with foundation. I'm not dealing with, exterior cladding. I'm not dealing with roofing such as that. So, yeah, dig into the material. And like I said, if you find other resources out there, by all means, try to use them. Practice methods, real-time stuff. If you're riding around, look at homes that you see. There's a particular way I come home every day, and this thing's glaring out now where people got antennas, connected right next to their chimneys. It's like, okay, that's a violation. So, just allow yourself to be open to always be receiving information because it will definitely help you.
All right. Well, I thank you, sir, for sharing that valuable information. And for those of you that are looking to become home inspector and you're struggling to pass that exam, check out the resources that I have to offer you in addition to ones that I just shared with you. I have plenty of more as well on the website, so just stay tuned and focus, and we'll get you to the finish line. Take care for now.